Take three.
Yeah. All right. Are we here this time?
How can we tell?
Robin, can I get a confirmation that we're live? Are we here, Robin? Okay, cool. Thank you. We didn't hit all the buttons that we needed to. All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm Alexander here with Cora and Crystal, and we're here to talk to you about food sovereignty and food security. This is the second time we're doing this.
Actually, technically
We'll
the
pretend
third.
it's our first.
Okay. Food sovereignty versus food security. Food sovereignty just means that the community has a right to define its own diet and shape its own food system. It's the right to access food from local community resources, allows sustainability in an ethical way that's free from oppression. Also, I would like to apologize for the very annoying train right now. Very sorry. It just gets worse. Okay. Um, right, food security. Food security just means having the certainty that there's enough food to eat every day. But it says nothing about where the food comes from or where it's produced from. Food sovereignty focuses on supporting smallholders and local owned farms and fisheries, etc., rather than industrializing these sectors in a minimally regulated global economy. There's 7 pillars of food sovereignty, one of them being focusing on food for the people. It builds on traditional knowledge and skills, and that knowledge can be passed down to future generations, and that helps reject technologies that undermine the local food systems. It works with nature by focusing on production of harvesting methods that maximize contribution of ecosystems, values food providers who grow and harvest and process the food, localizing food systems by bringing food providers and consumers together so they can collaborate and make joint decisions that benefit everyone, and rejects the idea of privatization of natural resources. It puts control locally, giving them agency over their own food production, and acknowledges that food is sacred because it gives life and that needs to be honored. Food security is concerned with the protection and distribution of existing food systems. National food security targets are often met by sourcing food products under environmentally destructive and exploitative conditions, and food security does not distinguish where food comes from or the conditions under which it's produced, and are often unethical.
So the importance of food and kind of why we're here today. Eating healthy supports gut health, immunity, and heart health, which helps prevent diseases, because the more we develop a more diverse, healthy gut, the more diseases we're able to fight off. A healthy diet can prevent extreme burnout and improve your energy levels overall. This is because the fat and proteins are great for receiving fatty acids and amino acids, which help function things like cholesterol balance, cognitive health, mood stabilization, connective tissue healing, and many more things. It helps short-term memory, attention, and focus. Diets that are richer in vitamins and minerals have a lower risk for mental health disorders such as ADHD, depression, anxiety. The gastrointestinal system and brain are intimately connected. This is the gut to brain connection. And adding on, it plays a big role in your mental health. This is because the less stress our brain experiences, the more carbs push our brains to release serotonin, that happy feeling.
And now for some facts around food insecurity. There are many things that can cause food insecurity. Most of them, as you can see, will revolve around having money, but not having enough money. For example, having rent or utility payments that cost enough that you can cover it, but might not be able to have enough money left to spend on an adequate food supply. Additionally, having unsuspected bills such as having a car crash and having to fix a car, or having medical bills that were unexpected, those things can come up and cause another loss of money, which leaves you without an adequate ability to have food. Additionally, there are some studies that have been done around college and college-aged students getting food. In 2016, 71% of college students had at least one characteristic of a non-traditional student. This would mean that they either didn't go off to a university right after high school, went to a 2-year university right after high school, such as PCC. So everyone here will likely have fallen under that 71%. There was also any factors such as having children or being married or a bunch of other things that would classify you as a non-traditional student. The Pell Grant funding has not kept pace with the cost of education. So the Pell Grant historically was able to fully cover the cost of students who were going into community college, but might not have been able to pay for it on their own. The Pell Grant currently cannot cover the full cost of community college anymore, and covers less of a university as well. From 1989 to 2016, the cost of a 4-year degree accounting for inflation has doubled. This makes it more expensive to go to school and cost more money, and so it makes sense that students are having a harder time being able to pay for everything that comes with both living and going to school. In 1980, Congress decided that full-time students needed to work 20 hours per week to be eligible for SNAP benefits. Additionally, 12% of the United States population is food insecure, while over 20% of college-age students or college students are food insecure. The over 20% comes because 20% is on the low end. They've seen numbers up to 50% of college students being food insecure throughout the 2010s, but it also depends on the study that's done and the year that it was done in. And now over the past year, we've seen another issue surrounding food and people's ability to get food, and that was COVID. So in March and April of 2020, an estimated 44% of the United States population. Now, it is important to note that this includes 48% of Black households, 52% of Hispanic households, and 54% of households with children. I included these to let people know that there were some areas of our population that were heavier hit by COVID than others. Shorter term help was sent out. This included boosted SNAP benefits and a couple one-time stimulus checks, but those only do so much in covering people's food and ability to get food. And this can be shown by the fact that our emergency food systems saw a 50% increase in demand during the height of COVID. SNAP is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program put on by the United States, and its benefits come in the form of an EBT card or an electronic benefits transfer card, which work similar to a credit or debit card, but is only able to be used for food. The amount of money that one would get is based on household income and the number of people in your household. And to be eligible, you must have a bank balance of under $2,000, or if you live with someone who has a disability or is over 60 years of age, then it needs to be under 3,000. And as you see on the bottom, there's a chart of how many people are in your household next to the benefits that you can receive. Eligibility for Oregon for SNAP. SNAP in Oregon is called the Oregon Trail Card. SNAP in Washington is basic food. And again, here are some charts over your household size and the maximum income level that you can have per year in order to be eligible. There are some additional factors that you need to remember when going into this. You need to have United States citizenship or other documentation. There's conflict with disability funds, either them allowing you to be eligible or not allowing you to be eligible for SNAP. Your age, work status, school status, and a bunch of other things can make you either eligible or ineligible for this program. Now, for full-time students, you may qualify for SNAP through one of these criteria. So as mentioned previously, if you're just a full-time student, you do not qualify for the SNAP program unless you work at least 20 hours a week or are responsible for a child or are unable to work for health reasons or are doing on-the-job training or a bunch of other things that are all listed here. If you are curious about this program, Robin has put the SNAP information for both Oregon and Washington into the chat. It is also in the description below the video. So some resources as well. Here are some resources for Washington food banks, Feeding America, and Northwest Harvest. And here are some food banks and pantries in our area that you can find. These links are also below. Thank you all for listening to our presentation. A special thank you to our teachers, Mac and Dr. Meeks, for helping us through this. And also a big thank you to Robin for being in the chat. If you have any questions, this would be a great time to ask. Yes, and also thank you to Robin for clarifying that SNAP is not a food sovereignty issue, but is definitely a food security issue and is able to help you get food, but again, is not food sovereignty. All right, I'm not seeing any questions coming up in chat, so I would like to thank you all for your time here. Sorry we were late. I did not set everything up correctly, apparently. I missed a button when trying to do this, but we got it. We got there. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.